Happy Tuesday. I hope your Tuesday's going well. Look, y'all, mine so far has gone very well. And then Mo had a mid-morning snack, 7 strawberries. Life is good. We sure have enjoyed having him. He's here till Thursday. Then Cameron comes for a week. So we trade them off. They do better one-on-one. Just saying. But y'all know if y'all got boys. Only had one girl. But I'm learning real quick. But anyhow, this is going to be, it's canning, but it's really not teaching you canning. But I want to share something that it brings tears to my eyes because I never thought about ever owning one of these. It was not even in the forefront, okay? I didn't need that. So let me back up. There's a story to tell. And I know y'all love stories. Matter of fact, let's go sit at the table so I can tell this story. And we'll come back to the kitchen. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to be canning with. But you'll appreciate and understand and be excited for me as I'm excited for myself. This was a big leap. And yeah, let's go to the table. That way I can sit down with my coffee and get off my feet. They screaming this morning, y'all. I was in that garden 2 hours. I was in it 4 hours yesterday. But I had to pick and I had to look and, you know, all the stuff you got to do. You got to dig. Make sure there's no bugs. So let's go to the table and let's talk about something. As I come to the kitchen table to get off my feet, we have a little guest. He said, Mama, can I sit with you and talk to your friends? I said, yes. So I'm sorry about the lighting because I can kind of see it's shaded, but we're in front of a big bay window. I'm not complaining because everything that's on the south side of the house, chickens, garden, everything, I want to be able to see. And there's 12 windows on the south side. There's only 2 on the front. So it makes it really good. But anyway, a lot of you may know, some not, but back in November 2nd to be exact, I was in a fender bender at the post office. Nice gentleman, 84, 86, lovely man. And he just made a bad judgment call. So fast forward, we had to turn it over to, my insurance. Of course, my vehicle got repaired. I had to rent a rental car. And my insurance, he had a, how do you say it, a underwriter, like really low underwriter. So as my agent said, they normally have to reach out legally for payments. So they didn't know how long it'd take. It could take up to a year. I said, okay. Well, about 3 weeks ago, Miss Allison, a lot of y'all know, we were on the Marco, and she said, you're not going to believe this, but what is it? The American canner has come out with colored ones. And I said, yeah, I won't be getting one of them. I'm perfectly happy with mine. But it would be cool to have like a bright yellow one or a green one or whatever. But I said, giving my current medical situation and Buddy now having to help me lift my canner, and I've got the Presto, 23 quart. He has to actually help me lift the canner because my RA has gotten really bad. And how do I say it? The new meds that I'll be on in June, for a month or 2, it can cause you to have some muscle spasms. Maybe not major, but muscle spasms. Well, you take that and you compound it to the RA. I was like, oh boy. But he said, well, we'll just can in the evening. Everything's fine. So on that phone call, I told Allison, I said, well, if I had a choice seeing my current situation, I would go for an electric canner. And I said, and the reason being is everything I've researched, because I started thinking about how am I going to can with this new treatment. I need to be able to can during the day, but I'll just leave the pot sitting maybe on the counter all summer, the big Presto. I don't have that much counter space. So we were trying to come up with a plan. But I mean, the freeze dryer is helping tremendously. I'm learning it. So I said I would actually opt for an electric canner because it weighs nothing. I can move it a lot more easy. And then I'm not also double stacking doing big vats, but if I had an abundance, I could always use my Presto. I said, but that's gonna be way down the road because there again, that was never in the forefront. I didn't want anything like that. I didn't think I could operate it, to be honest. Y'all know I don't like plug and plays. That's just not who Lippy is. But Lippy also knows that you can change and change behavior if it's going to help you. And I don't mean by allowing you to sit longer. It's going to help you multitasking. Well, the next day, I get a letter in the mail. And it was a $335 check. Reimbursement for the rental car that I had, 2 months, something like that, because that was the deductible. And I said, oh my gosh. It didn't take a year. It took 7 months, 6 months? Holy cow. Now we can add to the things that we have to do because this house is not completed yet. And then I sat. The following day, I sat. I didn't sit all day, but when I'd sit, I'd think about it. And because it hit my mind right then, I knew I better act because I'm somebody that will just, oh, no, never mind. Never mind, I ain't going down that road. But instead, I did. And I got online, and the one that I had been looking at since about January, February, that's when I really started diving in, It started piquing my interest where I didn't have to be dependent on Buddy. And I ordered it. I ordered an electric canner, and I took 4 years extra warranty. It came to $331.69, $331.90. It's $331 and some change. Excuse me. So, I did it. Now, Buddy comes in. I said, guess what I did? And I told him, he said, good for you. I said, it's my birthday present. It's my anniversary present. And see what's happening this year. It's my Christmas present, and we chuckled about it. He said, now, Lippy, you ain't going to let it sit in that box and then send it back. I said, no, I'm not. So, we're going to go over there and I'm going to show you what I got. It left me with $3 and some change. So, I put that in the baseball kitty because when I go, the boys want a snow cone. God is so good, y'all. He is so good. The timing couldn't have been perfect because I didn't know that I was going to get reimbursed. I had no clue. So I'm assuming my insurance got reimbursed for $6,000 in car damage or something. So he hears us. He sees our needs. Yeah, and I've done used it 4 times. So let's go look at it. And it is a Presto Precise. And y'all, this thing holds 8 pints. Now it also water bath cans. This has been a blessing for me. So even though y'all have seen me can green beans, well, we're going to can green beans, and if y'all are not interested, I totally understand. But I'm going to take y'all along and show you just how simple this is. But I'm going to show y'all. It's got a rubber bottom so it sticks, which is a good thing to the bottom. But look at this. Now, it's got the cord and everything in it. But guys, this does not weigh like my canner. It's, this was something that I needed. And plus, I can do my small batches. Because we don't have acres and acres, but the garden size that we do have is Cadillacing. And to store these green beans, you can put them in the icebox. But if it's taken you a week's time, let's say, depending on the scale of your garden, they can get limpy. I'm actually picking, like I think I've got 4, maybe 5 pints, so I've washed 5 pints over there. I can my little batches every day, and it's not piling up, and I don't have to do much with this canner. And the seals are crazy. I actually opened a can on Sunday, a jar, because Grandpa wanted to eat some green beans. Being diabetic, I have to be careful with what he eats and how I prepare foods. So I opened it, heated them up just like I normally do, a little bacon grease, a little onion. But it was the seal that caught my eye. I was like, wait a minute. Now, my other ones, they seal, and you know, it's tight. This, it's like, holy cow. You need a jar lifter, a flat lifter, if you're planning on saving your lids. Because I'm going to tell you what, once you put force to that one jar, I've been it. I mean, it's got that heavy, heavy suction. So, and what I like about this also is why it's warming itself up. That's going to allow me time to rinse and snap my green beans. So I'm going to try to finagle the camera and turn this sideways. So I have to be looking at it sideways. But I really want to show y'all. And yes, it is expensive. I did take the 4-year full warranty out. It was worth it. So I would have never been able to do this without saving, you know, for a year. But like I said, who knew? Who knew? I never expected I would get that check. And I didn't expect for it, if it did come, during a unsettling time for me. So this means so much to me. And it's really the first time I've ever bought myself something. It's when we buy something, Buddy and I discuss it. He does a lot of research on it. We make sure that, you know, we're investing in something that's going to benefit us long term. It's going to be something I can operate, you know, if he's not at home. And so that's why I have a lot of battery operated yard tooling. So I can get the job done and use tools that's easy for me to maneuver. So let me shut up, Gavin, and show y'all this amazing freaking machine. So yeah, Lippy puts her stamp on it. Like I said, I've only used it 4 times. But let me set you up, because I wanted to show y'all from the start to the finish. Oh yeah, y'all be able to see it. Okay, just gonna unsnap it. Remove this lid. Let me set it over here. It is so lightweight. That would be your jiggler, but it don't jiggle. But I'll explain later. Here's the cord. Now the cord's gonna go on this side. And I've been setting a paper towel down in the bottom where the rack is, just so it doesn't scratch it. But guys, look, this weighs nothing, but this is also something. Let's see if the camera will pick it up. Yeah, you see this line? It is so indented. That is your fill line. You can't, you know, on the other canners, you got to really look. Look at this. I mean, it's right there. So it makes it easy to fill. All right, I'm gonna put this back in here. First thing I gotta do is I gotta fill it to the fill line. And there it is. Okay, I went ahead and put water in 5 pints. Like I say, I don't know if I'm gonna have 4 or 5 pints. But I filled them, some halfway, some 3/4 way with water. So there's the first jar. And like I said, I did 5 because I'm kind of questioning if I do have a solid 5. But it holds 8 pints. Now, I'm going to put the lid on, you're thinking, what in the world? There we go. So now I got to get over here. It's blinking pressure can. I don't want to see, if I turn this, it would go boiling water cannon, which is water bath. No, we want pressure can, okay? So then I'm going to hit next, and I'm going to go to 20 minutes because that's how long it takes for green beans for pints. 20 minutes, 25 for quarts. I'm going to hit next. It tells you to insert the jars. I've already done that. That means the jars, it's got the clean jars that's half full of water. So I've already inserted the jar, and it's warming, okay? And that's going to take about 10 minutes. This is the time, during that 10 minutes of warming them jars, I'm going to clean and snap my green beans. I also have a tea kettle of hot water, and that gives me time to get my canning salt out. So what it's doing is it's sterilizing the jars. It's also bringing the jars up to an ambient temperature of warm. Not hot, but warm. And it allows your jars and your water you put in there to have the same temperature. Because you can put warm jars in, but what if your jar is a little bit warmer than the water? What if your jars are a little bit cooler than the water? This keeps everything even. Guys, this has been a miracle so far for me. So while this is doing its thing, y'all don't need to see me clean and snap beans. It'll beep. It's going to tell me it's time to remove the jars. And that's when I'm going to bring y'all back for that step. Okay, it just beeped. I just finished cleaning my green beans. Y'all, this is the coolest thing. All right. And you can kind of see that it's smoking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my jar out. Where's my rag? Hang on, let me find my rag. I'll take my jar out, and I'm going to go and dump this water. And now all I'm going to do is just do my jars the same way as if I was putting them in my canner on the stove. And I'm only going to do 4 pints because remember, I'm guessing about the 5th one. So I'm just going to start filling them up. Y'all have seen me do this over the last 3 years. Then I'm just going to debubble with my little chopstick. I've got a paper towel with vinegar. Put my flat on. It's just like regular canning. Just finger tight. And I'm going to set it on into the canner. Now I'm going to zoom in on this part so you can see that it's saying fill jars. So see, it's telling you it's time to fill the jars. That's how many green beans I had left over. So it was definitely a solid 4 pints. Okay, my lid's going to go on. I'm backwards. There we go. Put your lock down. You have to adjust. There we go. Now, let's hit the next button. And it's heating. We're doing nothing else until it beeps. It's saying it's heating. But do you see this? Can you see the steam? It's starting to vent. And it literally, because I timed it to see, once I started seeing that steam, I started watching this count down the 10 minutes that it takes before the jiggler goes on. So, same function as the canners that we're all familiar with, or most of us. But that's what it's doing. Now it's, can you see that? It's moved to 10 minutes because it's got a steady steam going. So there you go. I just want to show you, and it's showing vent now instead of heat. It's actually showing venting for 10 minutes. It's counting down. Now it says can. Put regulator on. Now, where is my towel? I have found that the steam can be hot. So I just put my regulator in this towel. snap it down. Now, with the beeping, you have to hit next. There's your 20 minutes. Like I said, you walk away. You do nothing. When it turns itself off, you're good to go. You take the regulator off, but I'll come back and show you all of that. The 20 minutes is off, and now it's reading cooling. So it's cooling down. It's doing what it's supposed to do. 7 minutes left on the cool down. And just like that, we're done. I'm gonna unplug it. That's what it says, and I'm just gonna turn it. But you see, it's done. I'm just gonna unlock it like we did before. I'm telling y'all, this is amazing. We're gonna get our jars out. Look, y'all. This makes 28 pints. And yes, I do my vegetables in pints because a lot of times it's just Buddy and I. And if we have more than that, I pull out more pints. I could save room by doing quarts. But by doing quarts, and it's just him and I, we don't necessarily eat the leftovers of the vegetable the next day. I wait a day or two. So, you hear that? The water is clear. Let me show y'all. Look in there. Perfect. Y'all want to see what's calling my name? But I'm going to share it this evening with Mr. Buddy. Another tomato. They're fixing to turn on, and then I'm really going to be busy. But speaking of busy, I'm fixing to insert a picture of what I was working on while this was doing what it was doing. The good thing about this is I could go out to my sugar shack because that's where the freeze dryer is. And I was able to cut up all the vegetables that I harvested, bell pepper, zucchini, and squash, get them going in the freeze dryer, and come back to this. I didn't have to stand here, watch a pot, basically, listen for the jiggle, and try to prepare and tote prepared food out there in the elements. I was able to go out there with clean vegetables, chop, get everything ready, and that's in the freeze dryer. So look what I've got going now, and I'm tickled pink about it. Do you see that? And some of you may ask, why didn't I cut them in rings? Because we like stewed squash and onions. I fry them square. The zucchini, that's also fried, or if I put them in something, I like them to have a little bit of bite to them. That's just what works. That way it's a universal cut. Have y'all ever tried to fry rings and you got a house full, or like me, 3 grandkids that think it's a snack because they love them? You can only put so much in a pan. So by chunking your vegetables, that way they're chunked for stews, chunked for frying, it's universal. But I thank y'all if you stayed with me through this video. This is an amazing, amazing piece of an equipment. And yeah, it really has made a difference with me. Now I'm just gonna let this water cool down. I will pull the insert out, weighs nothing, dump the water, wash it really good, put it back up, tote it, and I can set it right on the shelf in the pantry, and it's good to go. So if you're able and you're interested, this would be the one I would get after all the research we did. Or if you want one, save for it. Because some of you out there may have some disabilities, as I have. And like I said, I can work around it. I can go in and out, and I don't have to worry about it. Because there's nothing I can do anyway. You don't change anything. It does it itself. So, probably no video tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I don't know. We may do something. I don't know. We may even test. We could test that squash that's come out of there. Just get a little handful, fry it up. We might just do a freeze-dry taste test. Because I'm not going to do all my vegetables in there. I'm doing just batches. So I know if it's something we're going to like. So, as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. See you on the next one.